Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Sarah, and I'm so happy to be here with my good friend. Lots of you guys already know Janae Harman, but why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Janae Harman, and I've lived in Worland for, 11 years now. And I have a private therapy practice and I usually work with couples, but individuals as well. And I just recently started a coaching business online.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
I love every interaction with this awesome lady. And we were just chatting recently about like what we've learned during this crazy time and how it's impacted our families, and we thought we had enough to come on here and chat in front of you guys. So we're just gonna see what comes up.
So we were sure it would be interesting to everyone,
right? We'll find out. But you know what, so the things we were talking about is there are definite, I mean, let's not minimize the devastation that has happened because of this pandemic. I mean, you and I absolutely are so aware of that. Your clients, my patients, are so suffering with so many things. But we were talking about how at the same time, there are good things that have happened that we have learned that, I mean, I never would have learned if not thrust into these circumstances. Right. So how's that affected your family?
Well, for me, I have discovered that I like the slowness of it.
Yeah.
The time I get to spend with my kids, that they're not busy going to all the activities.
Yeah.
I know that some of those activities they miss a lot, but we've been able to spend time together that we wouldn't have normally.
Yeah.
And I am loving the slowing down and not being pulled in 100 different directions and being able to have dinner together. And,
yes.
I don't know. We're just finding that really helpful. Even though we don't like spend all our time together, you know,
right.
We're not all sitting at the dinner table all the time. But sometimes we're all holed up in our own little corner of the house.
Right.
But it's still just calmer.
Yeah.
Much more calm.
What a dramatic slowing it's been. I mean, yeah, it's been amazing. So many good things, but really we have come up with like some new family routines that we never would have, with taking walks, and my husband and I have been sitting out on the back deck having wine, like, which sounds awful that we weren't doing that before, you know, but we were so busy, and really we already as a family have always limited our kids' activities and not put them in too many things, but we didn't realize how busy we were until we were forced to slow down.
Right, and just being able to, like my kids could get their schoolwork done during the day and still have time in the afternoon, and so they just have felt, my one who's still at home has felt kind of relieved that it's not this all-day project. And then cram in all the extracurriculars and then a job and then, you know, it's just been
so many things.
more flexible. I like that.
I hope that we can really take the good that we have learned from this and try to hold on to some things that we really found we enjoyed, or hold on to some of that slowness that we found that we needed, and take that moving forward. Yeah,
I think for me, when people say let's get back to normal, it's mixed. I'm excited because I know that lots of people are not enjoying this, and they really long for that connection that they have in the community.
Yes.
And so I want people to be able to go back to that. And then I also want it not to be so pressured that we go back to normal, where where we feel obligated to go to all the things and support all the things, so that we have no choice. Or we feel like we have no choice, I guess. I have felt that in the past of like, I really don't want to go, I really want to stay home, but
You feel obligated. Right.
It's really important.
Right.
To go.
Something that I've been thinking about lately is I feel like we've kind of gone through a forced elimination diet of our lives.
Right.
You know, in these last few months, elimination diets are something I often coach my patients through, because it can be really helpful to figure out what foods might be, you know, not helping your body, what foods might be causing some symptoms. And so like, we have them just cut out lots of different things for a month, for instance, and then they slowly add back one thing at a time, and they watch their body and their brain and things to figure out what foods might just not be agreeing with them. So maybe we treat this like an elimination diet and add things back slowly and figure out, is this helping my life or not? And making some hard choices.
Right. And I'm hoping we've learned that it's okay to not do all the things.
Yeah.
That we can still have really enriched lives and community. I've been on the phone with lots of people and connected in other ways. But then sometimes I've just been able to say, that's not gonna work out for me.
Sure.
And so I'm hoping that we can integrate some of that, being allowed to say,
have boundaries.
Right, without being,
right.
you're just so antisocial or something.
Right. No, it's okay to have boundaries for your own alone time.
So that we can do that, like which is adding to my life.
Right.
And then when is it crossing the line into taking away?
Right, exactly.
And running my life.
Right, exactly. I feel like also this has been an opportunity to really get really firm on your values. You know, what's really important to you in life. That's been very eye-opening for me, I think. And that family, my kids, and time with my kids is it for me. And so there's not much more important than that. And our health, and you know, what's really, really important. And so that's been good.
Kind of zero in on that value focus.
Exactly.
Which in the busyness we sometimes forget.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's, I think that's been helpful for me as well. Especially when I realized I only have the one child at home, so really feeling like, oh, we don't have to do all this, and we still have a good relationship and good community relationships, and more time together.
Yeah.
And I will miss that when they're all gone. So.
Yeah, I've noticed that my kids are just more relaxed. They're less stressed. I mean, not that they were super stressed before, but more than I realized now that they're getting a lot of sleep.
Right.
The kids are getting more sleep than they used to, and they're just having so much more downtime and time outside, and it's been really interesting.
Yeah, and my son, he's in high school, but he's noticed that the stress level has gone down for him, not being so busy on that hamster wheel all the time, that his grades have gone up, even through a really difficult period of the online schooling. Yeah. And I know that's not for everybody, but I think it's interesting. Yeah. For him, that's worked better. So that's another thing I'm hoping that the outcome is that we have options. Yeah. What works for one may not work for another.
Sure. And that we take what we've learned from this, we figure out other things that might work for you and go with it. Yeah.
Right. And that we expand that a little bit, pigeonhole so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody's different.
Right. But they don't always feel that like to be the good community member, you know?
Right.
So it's really, I think that it's really expanded options in a lot of ways and made us look at other alternatives.
Yes,
like
forced us to.
Going completely online for my job, and that was never acceptable by before, and I'm finding that lots of my clients really like it. It's a little bit more anonymous, and so we'll be continuing for some as long as possible.
That's so wonderful. So that somebody who might not have been comfortable coming in for therapy before now is comfortable sitting in their home and talking to you on their computer or what have you.
So that's been, I just see the expansion. There's some expansion in lots of areas, and I hope that once we, in our excitement to go back to normal and have all those great things come back into our life, that we don't squish those out.
Right, exactly. Anything else you wanted to share?
No, I think those have been my main thoughts.
Yes.
And just hoping, I guess I do have one more. The one that this hasn't been great for everybody, and I'm hoping that as we return to normal, they're also helped.
Yes.
And welcomed, and not ostracized for being so enthusiastic about going back.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because some people really need that day-to-day connection, and they're lonely.
Yes.
Really lonely.
Especially our older people.
Yes.
As I'm getting to see my older patients more, it's just heartbreaking how lonely we are, people who are living alone. Yeah, absolutely.
And some people have a really difficult home at life at home. And so they need that branching out.
Yes, absolutely.
And so we really need to be mindful of
has been such a stressor in so many different ways that I hope and pray that people will reach out for help with their mental health.
And the other part of that to me is the divide this has created, and further divide this has created is, I think we really need to be careful and honor that each one of us has a decision to make in how we handle staying home, coming back into public, going back to normal, and that we, no matter what their choices are, that we honor that they've made them thoughtfully and for a reason.
Yes, that's such a good point. You're talking about how we each have to evaluate our own level of risk that we're comfortable with our families. I mean, whether we have a child who might be medically fragile or an older family member, but like you said, we need to honor each other's choices and be respectful of the choices that everyone needs to make.
Yeah, from wearing a mask to what choices of activities, how many people they're having over, all those things. Yeah.
It's all okay. We're all doing the best we can.
Right. With something we've never done before.
Absolutely.
And have no roadmap for.
Exactly. Exactly. This has been such a lovely conversation. You're just the best.
Thank you.
If you guys have
inviting me.
Oh, this is wonderful. If you guys have questions or comments, you can totally pop those in the comments afterward, and Janae and I can pop on later and answer those. We'd be happy to do that. We wish you the very best. Have a wonderful week and get some sunshine, everybody.
Great. Thanks.